Welcome back, everybody. GCUB Live again. This week we're talking the lifetime ban, or maybe. We're talking new content for some card game that Lewis plays. Also going to talk a couple things. There's a Nintendo Direct this week. Not going to get too far into that by request of Derek, because Derek hates Nintendo as he wears a Pikachu hat.
I don't hate Nintendo. I just don't need to jerk them off daily. Right.
Okay, so we'll get the jerking off part out of the way real quick. Real quick. I just want to... Okay.
Stroke one out.
The biggest thing for me, by the way, Derek, Lewis, you see him playing card games on Sundays, usually. Have you played lately?
No. We played actually a couple weeks ago, me and Joe, because I took a little bit of a short break from Hearthstone. I used to play a lot on Hearthstone competitively, placing top 100 in the seasons for Legends and getting invited to some tournaments. So I haven't taken a break from the game just because it requires a lot of time. I plan on playing starting again tomorrow, hopefully with Joe. I can stream tomorrow.
This is a guy that was playing Hearthstone in the background of our first GCUB Live, sitting at the table. We got Joe.
Hola.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing all right.
Yeah, you doing good?
I'm doing good.
Okay. First, talk to me, because I'm dumb when it comes to Hearthstone. I'm dumb when it comes to everything you guys play, apparently. Hearthstone, new content. What's the big deal?
The new deal with the new content is it's another adventure mode that Hearthstone is getting called Blackrock Mountain. And it's just like, for anybody who's familiar with it, it's just like the Naxxramas, Curse of Naxxramas. And basically, you just pay $20 or 700 gold a wing, and new cards come out each week, and you get to play against different bosses. So it's really cool. It's the first thing that, since this is the first like really big online card game, besides like Magic the Gathering Online, it makes it more like a video game where you can interact with bosses and stuff, and gives a lot of content that you can't really do in PvP. You get to play against computers, so it makes it a really fun experience, and you just get to unlock new cards, which everybody is waiting for the new cards, because that's really all you wait for in Hearthstone, is just to get new cards, change the format, have more fun with it. So that's really the whole thing of the new expansion right now.
How much time have you invested into Hearthstone?
I played.
Better question would be, how much money have you?
How
much money and time have I invested in Hearthstone?
Yes, please.
Time? Say I took a break the last 2 months. From before that, for like a good year, I was playing easily 5 hours a day or more, like 5 days a week, and then 4 days a week. 4 days a week at 6 hours to be an average, because I have a girlfriend, so we spend time together, and I don't play games when I'm with her. Yeah, I don't get to play really any games when I'm with her, because I feel bad if I'm just playing Hearthstone for 5 hours and she's just in my room watching TV. So, yeah, money. Ooh. Oh God, I'm ashamed to say how much I spent on that game. Probably over a year. I not just all at once. Just like $20 here and there. Probably like $400.
$400, and it launched last year, or 2000.
No, the beta started about
2000.
I believe it started close to the end of 2013 beta, and the beta lasted for a long time, probably like 8 or 9 months.
They announced it at PAX.
I did play beta, but I didn't spend any money in beta.
Well, to be honest, though, I mean, $400 for a microtransaction game like that, that's not really...
Doing pretty well for yourself.
Yeah, I had quite a few cards in beta between 8 to 9 months without spending any money, so I had some decent collection. But when you think about it, and it's like $60 plus a couple expansion for like a game like Destiny, and you're set. You got $80, $100 or whatever, and then you think about $400 that you're never getting back ever. Like, that's money I literally just took $400 and threw it in the trash.
If I was to look at the money that I've spent on like apps, I'd probably jump off the ledge right
there.
But
for $20 here and there of endless enjoyment, it's pretty worth it. It's not like I just like one day had to spend $400. It's like $10 here and there over a year.
You're gonna get all of that.
I love that.
I'm really late into the game. Like I hopped in at like, man,
what, 2 months ago?
No, I started playing way after Goblins and Gnomes. Is that Goblins and Gnomes?
Goblins and Gnomes. Yep, that was the
you got 2 card backs, right? So
I've been playing for 2 months, I guess. Then at bare minimum, I probably spent like close to half of what you spent, like somewhere in 230, 220 range.
Yep, and it'll only get worse.
It's rough. It's rough.
It's really like a drug. Like you're just gonna keep spending money.
I have no desire to buy anything on there, and I love booster packs. I love anything of chance. That's why I'm not allowed to gamble.
Well, explain this to me. Why do you feel... Okay, let me rephrase that. Do you need to spend money to be competitive?
Yes. People like to argue that you don't need to spend money to be competitive, but it's really just denial.
Tell me how it is.
I've gotten in arguments on Facebook, on their Hearthstone page, and just like people, I'm like, and when Goblins vs. Gnome came out, I commented on one of their posts. I'm just like, I'm done with this game. Like, I can't spend any more money on this game. I kept playing, of course, but I wanted to quit. And some guy commented back, he's like, what are you talking about? It's a free-to-play game. Like, why are you complaining? And I was just like, you're an idiot.
Cute.
Like, literally... If you want to be competitive, you have to spend money. There's just no way you're gonna get the cards. For one legendary, you get like two legendaries out of 50 or 40 packs, which is $50. And for one deck, you need average like 5 or 6 legendaries, let's say.
So if you play nonstop, though, you really don't think you could play for free and be competitive? The time you put in,
I would have about.
If you could do well in arena, I know is that what it's called?
Arena, yeah.
If you can do well in arena, then do you think you could play competitively at a slower pace?
Absolutely not.
It
would take you so long to get all the cards. I get 12 wins a lot.
By the time that you did whatever you need to do to get the new the cards for your deck, the meta has changed. So you built an inadequate deck. So
I mean, like I play, and I wouldn't say my deck is it's not good, but it's not terrible. I mean, I win at my level a lot with it. I have a Mech Paladin deck. I don't have any legendaries. But otherwise, I mean, I got everything, and I've only played total time, like, maybe a week, 7 days. Like, I didn't play a lot at all, so I didn't think that was too hard. That deck may be absolutely terrible, and I'm just playing terrible kids, but...
What you get from the booster packs and I guess the paid content, can you obtain through the normal course of play?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can. I would say it takes about 10 times the amount of time at least.
Okay.
And the problem with Hearthstone is it's a game that the format for the game, what decks are good and what not, changed about every 3 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole format changes every 3 hours.
And especially...
And the only way to be good is to be that player that understands that the format is going to change every 3 hours. And that you know exactly what's going to happen in the next 3 hours, and I already know what kind of decks I'm going to play against. And it's real simple. It's just that people don't. That's where the big gap in players is, that they don't know how to put 2 and 2 together. Like, people are just like, oh, this deck's out. It's going to be good for like a year, and it probably will be good for like a year. But the problem with that is that people are going to start playing decks to counter that deck, and that just keeps changing every 3 hours. And then people want to play decks to counter that counter deck, and so it's just a big circle. And if you don't know how to keep up with that, then you'll never get to the top level.
It's even worse, like when a new, I guess not even just a new set, but like this new adventure that just came out, because now not only are you dealing with the meta that's changing, they're throwing new cards in the game each week. So it's just like,
so there's like a steady like IV drip of content.
Yeah, when they do like an adventure, they do a couple of different weeks, and each week they drop, 4 cards? Well, I guess it varies between each week.
Or you get 5 cards per week, I believe.
Is it 5?
5 to 6. Yeah, it depends on the weeks.
Is it more than that?
You get 4 for each. You get 3 for each boss, and then after you beat the 3 bosses, that's 3 cards. Then 1 unlocks on top of it, and then you get clash challenges each week.
Yeah, and then
you get 5 to 6.
You get those, and then each week you have to beat like whatever the bosses is through the story, and then after you're done with that, then it awards you another card at the end of the week. So as all these cards, every week that happens, so every time these 5 or 6 cards get dumped into the game, it completely changes the meta every single time. It's just like you have to start all over again. But
that stresses me out just thinking about it.
Yeah, it's like, if you bought an expansion for your game, all these new controls came in, and then a week later they changed it again, and a week later changed again. It's just like everything before that was just irrelevant. Like, you just learned all that, and you're just like, okay, it was useless. I got to start all over again.
Welcome to card games.
Yep.
I guess that's why I never got into them. I felt like the barrier to entry was so significant.
Me being, I guess, a new player in the game, it isn't if you're willing to pay the money. If you're gonna jump into the game and like just try to play it without playing money, you're probably not gonna have a good time. But if you're willing to like spend maybe $50, maybe $60. Then
you
you
get
can
started.
Yeah, to get started, like you can start playing.
It's
the
not
game.
very new user friendly unless
Yeah.
you're willing to go
Right.
the free to play route.
Right.
If I just tell you, here, there's a new card game, give me $100 and you can start playing, you'd be like, you're insane. I'm not playing. I'm just gonna go play for free, and it's for most people that's a lot of fun.
See, I didn't think it was too bad playing completely for free.
Yeah, it's a really. I used to do it, and it's really fun. But if you want to go competitive, you have to do it. The top 100 legends is .01 of all players, which is what I was in. So that tells you that it really is a huge gap.
Right.
And all legend players, I believe, is the top 5% of all the players in the game. So it's a big gap. And
Wow.
the great thing about it, though, is besides the money, it really is new user friendly, because it's very simple. It's not a very in-depth card game that takes a lot of thinking. Like, anybody can play it and have fun.
Right.
Since it's on a computer, it's really interactive. There's animations and stuff like that.
It's on everything now, man.
Tablets.
Yeah, it's on tablets. I mean, they're really going big with it, so it's great.
Still not the Wii.
Still not.
They gotta work on that.
Yeah, they do.
Speaking of Wii,
Oh dear God.
no, I'm not gonna get into Nintendo circuitry.
No.
But I do want to talk about the fact that Sakurai said there was going to be no more Smash Brothers DLC, and then they announced Smash Brothers DLC and balancing.
Wait. What came out DLC other than Mewtwo?
Lucas
Came out?
is coming, and they released a character ballot in which people are
Well-
going to vote for the next character to be
Which-
included
I'm
in the
saying
game.
That
Post
ballot.
to them announcing that. Why? When did he say? After what point did he say there was going to be no more DLC?
After the announcement of Mewtwo and after the first patch for the Wii U. He said there would be no further character balancing, and that was what caused the issue with Diddy. He's so overpowered, apparently. And people were worried about, okay, well, we're just not going to be able to play him competitively because there's not going to be any further adjustments to the game whatsoever. They said, here's the game, outside of Mewtwo coming in, that's it. We're not going to balance anymore.
I'm really confused
Fantastic.
as to why they would
10 out of 10.
not do that.
I don't know.
Well, their claim has always
Fantastic.
been. Their claim has always
Sign me
been
up.
since the first Smash Brothers that we as a community have made that game a competitive game.
Mm-hmm.
They never intended for that. They always wanted to just make a fun game. They didn't really. They wanted it to be balanced, but they didn't really make that a big focus.
Right, like Hearthstone.
Yeah. But so I think that's probably where the mindset is where they're just kind of they don't want to spend too much manpower on balancing, because that's a big part. It's
Right.
a really, really big part.
I mean, you would need a team to maintain afterwards
Right.
continuously.
Right.
But
Money they don't want to pay to people.
so you're saying not wanting the balance is why they wouldn't make new characters?
Yes. Well,
Yes and no,
Yeah.
because I just feel like they put out the game, like Joe said. They put out the game, and they were done with it. For all intents and purposes, this was Mario Party or Mario Kart, and they put it out, and they said, here it is, and they left. Like, it's not supposed to be the super hyper competitive,
Well, whether
on the
it's competitive
tournaments.
or not, that doesn't new characters doesn't make it more competitive. It may make it more fun for people.
the thing is, it's a very weird balance that they have to do, because he was, and I'm going to harp on that, because Final Mythos was talking about how the ballad is a sham, and it kind of is, but I'll get on that in a second. But like they say that they didn't make it for competitive, right? But a lot of the decisions that they make are to maintain a competitive scene for the game. So it's them trying to appease both crowds basically at the same time, which is really hard. Because by adding another person, like by adding a new character into the game and not adjusting the balance, you've just completely thrown the game off. That would be like throwing Meta Knight back into the game and just calling and then expecting everything to be good in the competitive scene again. Like, you can't.
Here's
do
the
that.
thing,
Meta Knight
though.
in the game.
I'm saying like from Brawl, like how broken he was. in
I didn't
Brawl.
play it then.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
hate
like
Smash.
everybody just waits for content for that game. Like, it just gets boring unless you just start throwing characters in there, and everybody's like, we want new characters. They might be broken, they might not be. Well, either way, we're gonna be pretty happy because we need some new content.
Yeah, fighting games I can't imagine would. Well, they wouldn't keep my attention unless there was new content
But see,
coming
like,
out
take
continuously.
Mortal Kombat into as an example.
Okay.
Like, they had a great game. It was awesome. It was cool. And then they added Scorpion. Oh no, sorry, that was Mortal Kombat. That was Injustice. Yeah.
Injustice.
Then they added Scorpion, and completely threw off the tier list. And eventually, he got banned from tournaments because they didn't balance him for that game. They literally took him from Mortal Kombat and dumped him into Injustice. And then
everything.
Yeah, same moveset and everything. And he was so ridiculous.
Ed Boon can't not have Scorpion in any of his games. Like, they released Mortal Kombat 3 without Scorpion, so they released it again with Scorpion. Like, he has to be in every one of them.
And I get it. He's a part of that franchise.
Sure.
I understand that. But, like, if you're going to add him to the game, it's more than just taking the animations and dumping it into a game.
Right.
Like, they have to, like, put him in the game, then they have to excruciatingly test it, have some other people get their hands on it, then bring it back, fix it, and have some other people. Like, there's a process that would go to balancing it that the developer is just not wanting to do, and they don't feel like they have to spend the money to do that because it costs money. So
I'm sure they'd make money.
They will, but you have to think: will the money that they make from the DLC that people buy outweigh the amount of money that they're having to pay the people to balance it and maintain the balance? Like that's where I guess their mindset is.
This is why I hate fighting games.
How many characters did the game launch with? Like in the 40s?
Oh,
Wii U, Smash Wii U.
So many.
Yeah, I don't even know.
So you have enough characters where, okay, there's some snubs, but, like, do you really need to add more? Okay, Mewtwo is, like, a cool little gift.
I need more skins for Duck Hunt.
Skins are great. I love skins. They're fantastic. I would do skins all day, but... I mean, even clones at that point.
Yeah, they're really notorious for their skins that are just clones of characters like Dark Pit and Pit and all that. What the problem with Smash for me is that they're not adding new content. They're adding content that we have had in other games. Like Mewtwo is not new content, which is the only problem I have with Smash Bros. I want a new character like that has not been in a game before. Not, hey guys, here's Mewtwo. Here's a whole bunch of characters you already know exactly how they're going to play and we're going to balance them.
Well, they did it with
awesome.
the Mii's or whatever. I mean, that was pretty new.
Yeah, it was.
Mii's are from not necessarily a game. I mean, that's a Nintendo thing. They added them in. Wasn't really copy and paste. I mean, they gave them their little whatever, but...
Okay, so just to bring it back to the ballot.
Yeah.
So here's the ballot. Basically, they don't have like a set list of people with like suggestions.
It's
or
a
anything
write-in.
like that. Literally, you just write in like what character you want from any game. So I don't think that it's a real.
I know that about 20,000 people have voted for John Cena. Because of another subreddit that shall not be named at this moment that I frequent. They had a bunch of people all voting for John Cena. I know that Shrek. I know 4chan had
Shrek would be awesome.
I know 4chan had their guys on there.
That's fantastic.
Voting Shrek. I've heard all kinds of things. I know that. Who was it on Twitter? It was Phil Spencer said he'd love for Banjo to be in the game from Microsoft, saying we've worked with Nintendo before, we'll do it again. Please put Banjo in Smash. And so they're obviously going to look at these and laugh a lot of them off. And then even in the Nintendo Direct, they said we're just trying to get an idea of what characters you might like to see. They never said we're going to add any of them. They never said they.
Isn't Goku pretty high up there too?
Goku's up there because you can't see it, none of it is public knowledge. So someone on Reddit made like this other survey that everyone was using to kind of get an idea of who was being voted for.
John Cena. This guy. Okay, Captain McCart said John Cena. Really? That wouldn't fit. Yeah. I beg to differ. I think John Cena would be fantastic in the game.
Look
10 out of 10. I could just imagine him just giving five knuckles to the face to Link and they're just making my day.
I'd play.
You can't see me.
I said it should be a Castlevania character.
Yeah, you did. Yep.
And,
We disagreed on what Castlevania.
yeah, he says Selma.
You
It
can
needs
really,
to be Alucard.
You should be the Coca-Cola bear. That'd be awesome.
That'd be
Just
or
come in there
the
and
Norelco Santa from the shaving.
maybe just
commercial.
cigarettes, like Marlboro cigarettes. That'd be awesome.
just a cigarette.
Fighting,
Like,
just a pack of cigarettes.
just
a pack of
And this
cigarettes.
projectile can just be throwing
Is it
cigarettes
messed
at
up?
people.
Like I can just I can picture like this pack of cigarettes.
Yeah,
just-
because that's how Brawl. I mean, Smash is, man.
Like as far as like actual characters right now, what like the unofficial like exit poll data as far as like people who use Reddit, Shovel Knight was the first with like 14%.
That's not bad.
Other was 10. That's where John Cena fell in.
10.
Too terrible.
King K. Rool, Snake, Isaac, Wolf, Ice Climbers, Bayonetta was in there, an Inkling from Splatoon, which is probably actually going to happen.
That game's amazing.
Waluigi, Rayman. I can't wait for Splatoon. I'm so excited for that game. Ridley, Gino.
So I don't really like any of those choices.
Yeah, well, Simon Belmont.
Is he on there?
Yeah, Captain Toad got more votes than Simon Belmont. But it continues to go.
It's like the ultimate troll.
So they took Shrek and John Cena and Goku and they put them all in the other category because they're not video game characters.
Yeah.
But Shrek
John
had
Cena's
plenty
a
of
video game character. John Cena's in WWE 2K15 or whatever.
He is.
Goku's had. I think Goku's had enough video games at this
Yeah,
point. To be
I think
considered.
so too.
Yeah. I mean, yes, he's not. That's not the main.
He's probably
thing
got
that
like
came
30 video games.
Yeah. He's got,
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to see Goku Spirit Ball Mario.
I would be okay with Banjo.
that would be like probably a Smash or something.
I would be
Banjo.
okay.
I'd be okay with
I'd be
that.
okay with Banjo. I would be okay with John Cena.
John Cena.
That'd be great. Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a casual player, and my opinion really doesn't matter when it comes to these things.
Filthy casual.
I played with my son.
You beat him?
He thinks I'm good. I kick his ass.
I did that
every
too. That's
single
why
time.
I kept it so long, because I played my nephew and I would just destroy him. He'd be
Right.
like, "You're so good." Like,
Yeah, I'm
man.
like, yeah, thank you.
No, come
It
over
was like
here.
I was at Sports Clips the other day, and they were telling me that I was just like, yeah, just take a little off the top because I'm thinning. And she's like, oh no, you have plenty of hair. And I was like, tell me again. She's like, you got plenty of hair. Rubbing her fingers. She was like, this is awesome.
That doesn't work for me because I know they're just boldly lying to
You
me.
liar. Whatever. So yeah, that was a thing that happened. And who knows what's going to actually come of that. This guy's giggling over here. Can't imagine why. Why is the audience giggling?
Because you said come.
Still would rather see Marlboro cigarettes than old characters.
It is a sham. It is 100% a sham, and we're going to end up seeing someone from... Or it's going to be Ice Climbers.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I would literally rather see like a pack of
It's gonna-
cigarettes over Mewtwo.
It's going to be...
It's just like advertising.
What about
cancer.
Joe Camel from the Camel Cigarettes, who used to be a cartoon character, and then they discontinued him because he appealed to kids? Do you remember Joe Camel?
That's why I started smoking when I was 5.
You could have a
My dad had like a mug of Joe Camel's face.
you could have a Surge soda. That'd be awesome
A
too.
Surge
They
soda.
You
used
just
to
crack
have-
itself open and just
It'd be
destroy
like that
everything.
Those little camel
the
bucks.
punching bag, like
Yeah.
a little punching dummy, just like a can.
I would like the Noid
Oh my god.
from Domino's. Yeah.
I was actually
Yeah.
going to say that earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, when you guys were saying this, I'm just picturing in my head trying to collect that pizza.
Yo Noid or Cool Spot. I think we've had this
Cool Spot would
conversation
be
here
badass.
before too.
We're
But-
old.
Yeah.
Like I'm listening to you guys.
How
It's
would
like,
the duck-
Lewis is like, what are you guys
No
talking
idea what
about?
you're
Yeah, don't know.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Ice climbers.
I
it
won't
is.
play
Okay.
it, so it
It's
doesn't
gonna
matter.
be someone.
It's gonna be
better
ice
than that game.
climbers.
They said they had ice climbers.
Honestly, it'd
working
probably
in
just
the
be
game.
one ice climber. That's how lazy they are. It'd just
One
be one.
ice
Like, we'll just get one of them. And there'll be 2 different DLCs.
It'll be one for $3.99, but both for $5.99.
Yeah. 1 for 4, 2 for 8.
Yeah.
Greatest deal ever.
Yeah, big deal. This is something that was kind of got us fired up in the group chat. So Riot, you guys know those people, right?
Yeah.
They make video games.
You know that
They make
that,
A video
you know
game.
that video game. Well, they make one video game, but they do it better than pretty much everyone else in the world because I don't know anyone who hasn't heard of or played the game.
That's true.
They're experimenting with their permaban to make it not so perma. I wanted to talk about that because I want some opinions.
This is a really delicate situation.
This is
Some
this
ice.
is great. This I want some hot takes on this. So
Like-
the player, Incarnation.
Incarnation, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about why he was banned from competitive play in League in the first place. This is where it gets really fun. Does
Yeah.
anybody know? Does anyone want to join in with me on this?
Well, I definitely am, but I want to hear your side first.
Yeah, you give us the facts real quick, and then we'll.
Here we go.
All right,
Okay,
fill us in.
so he was banned for conduct unbecoming of the integrity of the game. So he was, quote unquote, there's no actual quotes of what he said, but there's quote unquote toxic in-game chat and voice chat channels. So it was very hateful and very negative. That was what Riot made public because they wanted you to think that they were kind of, cleaning up their game.
Mm-hmm.
But when you dug a little bit deeper and there was so much outrage that I can't believe you you banned him for his, freedom of speech, blah blah. You found out that he was also utilizing DDoS attacks in his games. He was utilizing other standby methods in order to gain an advantage. He was cheating. He was cheating all the time, using bots, cheating. He was permanently banned, and I guess at the end of every year, Riot does this review where they go through all their bans, and then they release like a little synopsis as to, yep, still banned. And while he was on his indefinite suspension, he was still.
What's his name?
His Incarnation.
Incarnation, that's right.
He was still using bots and other exploits and other attacks to gain an advantage, even in non-competitive play.
Sounds like a legend to me.
Even though he's been banned, he can still play the game. Yeah, right? Can still watch him. So they're keeping an eye on him to see, well, maybe he'll clean up his act. Maybe we can bring him back because he was a popular player. Well, after a while, after about a year, because that last report where he was still doing that on his suspension was in 2013. So he went all of 2014, and he was a real happy gentleman in the chat and real helpful to newcomers, and he wasn't cheating, and they brought him back.
And permabanned him again.
They probably will. They brought him back, so they reversed a lifetime ban. A lifetime ban, a permanent ban that was like highly publicized at the time. It was a huge deal. I want to know, and I kind of put all. I've already scribbled my thoughts into an editorial, but I want to know how you feel. How do you feel about that? I want to know, one, how you feel about permabans in general, and two, how you feel about someone issuing a permaban and taking it back, and if this is justified in the situation. And go.
Yeah. First off, I think he's a fucking video game. I guess you would say athlete, pro athlete, or whatever you would call it. Yeah,
he was a very large one.
I really think anybody gifted enough to be, a pro in anything should really respect their position, and especially if you're playing. I mean, I love video games, and I'm probably saying this because I'm a little jealous, but especially if you're playing fucking video games and making tons of money doing it. What's the reason to cheat? Like, what is there that you couldn't get? Why would he cheat? First off, I mean, because I play League.
Okay.
I can't think of any reason of why you would, at his level, need to boost anything. There's a cap. There's champions you can get with the free money you get into the game. But I'm sure he's got all of it. So I really think at that point he's just doing it because he could.
Exactly.
How do we know he's good if he was cheating? Was he good without?
Here's the thing. When there's an opportunity to cheat and you don't think you can get caught, and there's not any real consequences before these permabans, it's so tempting. Like it's the Hearthstone players just trying to get caught watching the stream when they're in a tournament. They're watching their own stream to see what's in their opponent's hand. The guy got caught. There was no they didn't ban him or anything like that, but just whoever was winning the tournament, the couple of guys on stream, they're like, we're going to ban this guy from a tournament. You can go play in whatever other tournaments he wants. When there's that opportunity to cheat and get a little bit of edge on anywhere, it's very tempting probably for these players to take it.
Just quick, Captain Picard just wanted a quick refresh on how he was cheating.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Yeah, I mean, he was utilizing network exploits, DDoS attacks. He was utilizing
what does that mean
bots.
Exactly? Can you?
It's a distributed denial of service attack. It's where you convince a host that it is being accessed.
Lag switching? Is that what?
Yes. You convince a host that it's being accessed over and over and over again so that it stops responding. It's how Anonymous takes down websites, essentially.
Okay. So, most of these tournaments, they're in, an actual. I'm sure there's plenty of tournaments that are online only. And now that you say it like that, I can think of ways
Lots
in those
of
tournaments
reasons.
where he could be cheating.
Do you have to be ranked a certain something in the game to be eligible for these tournaments, or is it just
to get invitations?
Okay.
They invite you.
There is a ranking, and once you get I think it's called Challenger tier. Then you get those kinds of things. But was he LCS or?
They're referring specifically, like his ban was specifically for like riot sanctioned events, so he could still play in other things, but they kind of hopped on and said, you know, everyone else hopped on and said we don't want him.
I know Riot makes it very clear that they can't stand bullying. That's huge.
Right.
If you keep up on any of their news, I mean, if you follow anything, you see all the time how they're making examples out of people.
Yeah.
To unban somebody that they made an example out of,
It's real weak.
it sets an example, but not a good one, in my opinion.
Okay. I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate.
Well, before you do that, Kristen was in chat and she was I say she could be a he. Should they be more harsh with someone as publicized as this person?
This person is now patient zero. So this person is now the test subject for all future cases that are. So this person will set the precedent for reversing bans. My opinion, absolutely they should, because it's their game. And if they don't want those type of people playing their game, and they want to set the example and they want to set the expectation that this is not the kind of community that we're trying to foster, kick his ass out and don't let him back in.
And I agree.
Now, that in and of itself is
setting a good example to tell people not to cheat.
Captain was in chat and he just said, so use him as an example with a question mark. And I get that, because yes, I understand that what he's doing is wrong. It is bad, and yes, it should be punished. But should he be punished for the sake of all of the other people that were doing this?
They did, and
that is not right.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
and I agree on both fronts. I say kick his ass out, never let him back in, because I see it from a community standpoint, and you don't want that kind of stuff there. But then again, it's almost a hypocritical statement of me to say that, and of Riot to want to say that, regardless of how they feel, because then they're bullying themselves.
Well, you gotta think too. I mean, do I think he should be punished harder than anybody else who did it? No, but I do think he should be punished, and he is an example to the community. He is, a focal point to where they see. You look at the LCS players. You watch, NFL football. You look at the teams. You expect the players on the teams to uphold that whatever. He needs to be punished and needs to stick with it, because people may have stopped. Maybe they were cheating. They saw what happened to him. They stopped. Now they see, I can come back
with
just
good behavior.
Yeah, if I just try to. It's not prison.
Eligible.
It's a video game.
Captain was saying, he's like, if it's going to be a permanent ban, then it needs to be a permanent ban.
Exactly.
That I agree with.
That's the problem.
If you're going to drop the permanent ban on someone, then they're gone. They're done. Like you can't bring someone back from a permanent ban. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Why is it even being reviewed? Here's
the thing: if they told him, okay, we're going to permanent ban you, but we are going to give you a review. It's like if you go to jail for life and they say, okay, actually in 20 years though, we're gonna review your case. If they told them that from the get go, then that's understandable. But if it's just like, hey, you're going to life for jail, and then like, yeah, get the fuck out of there, man. You're not going to jail. Get out, man. Get out of here. We're just messing with you.
This was so publicized when this happened. It was like a couple years ago, and they made such a big deal about they were banning him for toxic behavior. And obviously, once you dug deeper, you saw that there was more to it. But they wanted everyone to know that they banned him because he was a dick.
But you might be asking, what team is this guy on? If any big
I
team?
can't remember what team.
The last team I think he played for was SK Gaming?
SKT?
I think it was SK Gaming. I'm not sure what team of them that they played for. I can look it up. I'll find out.
But either way, I mean, he should have been done. It's a video game. It's not prison. Like, it's not something worthy of. If he cheated, he did. And most people don't play League of Legends because of the toxic players.
The thing is, in most like mainstream sports, which if they're going to make esports be that, if that's what they're going for, and that's what they're going for, if that's the image they want to present, then they have to do stuff like this, and they've got to address things like this, because football does, NFL doesn't do a good job of it, but it does. So, but they have to do it, and I don't know if this is the best way to do it.
Yeah, it's just like the bottom line. It really is just when money is involved, that kind of money, there's going to be cheaters. People are going to want to get the edge and just beat the other players, just have that advantage, and just it doesn't matter if they're not worrying about getting caught. They just want to get the money. They want to win the tournaments. They want to get big. I guess that's just the way it is, and they're just not making a very good example out of them.
There was that one girl who played Hearthstone, and
Yeah, I know what you're.
I can't remember her name.
She played for Team Temple Storm, which is
and she was accused of boosting her
the
numbers.
Asian girl, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And when asked to, they said, "Hey, we're not accusing you of anything, but it's been brought to our attention that you may be cheating. Just to prove that you're good, why don't you just play a local tournament with us?"
LAN.
Yeah, just easy tournament. Why don't you play?
No, denied.
She said no.
She lives in China, but she still denied it.
Yeah, she said no.
Were they paying for?
Yes, they would have paid for her trip to come over here to play in
she
a
just
LAN.
had to. And she said, "Oh, it's too much pressure. I should be trusted or whatever." I'm like,
Well, like that is a very
Magic Amy was her name.
yeah, that's what it was.
like,
Yep.
seesaw predicament for her, because if she chooses to go, if she doesn't choose to go, people are just going to assume that she is, with no proof. She continued to play the way she wants to. They still have no proof. It will give her a bad stigma, but it doesn't.
She got kicked off the team.
She got kicked off the team.
Instantly.
Her choice was to go and play
And never be
or
seen
not
again.
be on the team.
Oh, that's the option was. If
Yeah.
she didn't go, then she was gone.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like the other side to that is if she went and played.
At worst case, she loses.
Well,
Against pro players.
At really worst case, she wins. She wins
Yeah.
normally, and they still give her the stigma of being someone who cheats.
I watched a review about that, and people were literally just saying, you could just show up and lose, and you just prove that, that all you had to do was show up and lose, and the team would have been like, okay, you're straight, you can stay on our team.
Oh, even if
Instead, she's
won,
like, no.
You can
I'm
look
done.
at a pro player and tell by what they do that they're a pro. It's that
Simple in all games.
Yeah. Joe, you got something to say?
No, I was looking at the chat. Kristen had a very interesting idea. Basically, having a bracket that allows it. For me, it's more of a parody thing. Like that would still be funny to watch as a
Greatest
viewer.
cheater.
Yeah.
Like DDoS is just coming in everywhere. People bombing each other, just stabbing each other. We're winning.
It's like the losers bracket, but cheaters.
Yeah, just like that,
Like an
some kind of
anything goes.
death.
Yeah.
League of Legends tournament. It's awesome.
It would be very entertaining to watch.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I would watch that.
Yeah, I would
That'd be
definitely.
fantastic. It'd be just like DDoS is everywhere. We wouldn't even be able to watch a tournament.
Well, nothing's moving. In this
Some of the smartest things you see are people trying to cheat.
Yeah.
The thought that goes into
the sequence breaking and speedrunning, where people find out how to skip 8 hours of a game just by, skipping one cutscene or hopping into the loading box by clipping out of the blah blah blah. That takes a lot of thought. That's almost a full-time job to figure out and then practice and then be able to do it on command.
Yeah, and you're not taking away. It's not like a tournament where you
Right.
just ruin
Yeah,
somebody
change
else's
it up.
chances. You're just doing it for fun.
Right.
It's funny when you say that because I watched an anime that was all about this world that was controlled by games. If you won the game, it was called No Game No Life. Have you ever heard of it?
You told me about it, yeah.
Yeah, but their whole thing was if you got caught cheating, you'd pretty much get killed or whatever. But
Right.
but if you didn't, so they tried to put all this thought into the cheating, but not getting caught because it's not necessarily cheating unless you get caught. So, but it would be funny to see a tournament like that. Just
Well, I think the competitive mindset though is kind of tuned for that, because when you're building a deck or when you're playing any competitive game, you are trying to get the most gain for the least amount of cost, and that thought mindset that's a slippery slope that can get you into cheating. Not everybody does it, obviously, because these things are still big. Even regular sports are still
When
big.
real money's involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that mindset is just all right, so how can I do the least amount of cost for this play and get the most out of it?
How can I just
And it's-
win
Yeah.
without actually winning?
less-
Yeah, without
budget
having to
game.
do anything. I just
There was a guy. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
go ahead. No, I was
There's
just
a
saying-
guy called Bjergsen or something, or Jerkson
I've
from
heard
Team
that.
Solomid.
Oh.
He's a huge streamer. Team Solomid is, from what I know, the biggest team in League of Legends, the most popular. They have the most follower on Twitter, and they just take over the League of Legends stream. And he got caught bribing another player. And just listen, you need to, forfeit or whatever, and I'll bribe you. And then they came up on him, they asked him about it, and he just straight up admitted to it. He was like, yeah, I did it. And all he did was get fined. That's clearly cheating, You're bribing somebody else. I don't care if you DDoS them or bribe them. It's the same result. You're gonna win over them. And he just got fined like a couple $1,000, something that's nothing to him. And it's just like they're just not doing a very good job.
He was honest about it, and that's what's important here.
I killed you. I was honest.
Like, that's the thing. That in that sense, yes, he's honest. Great, kudos, thumbs up, good job. You're an honest person. But you're not an honest person because you still just bribe someone.
It's dishonest to like go bribe somebody under the table. That's lying. You're just not saying.
Who hasn't, at least had the thought, maybe not followed through, but let's say you're at work, you can leave work 20 minutes early, still get paid for that 20 minutes, and nobody's going to know.
Right. That's what I'm saying. When there's an opportunity to do something like that, no.
When the opportunity, that's what. Look at Mark's face.
Mark's like,
he's like, I left work an hour
I left work early today.
But given the chance, it's a very hard thing not to do.
Opportunity, man.
I mean, and all of us, at least most of us here, we've played card games. I mean, how many times have you picked up, let's say, drawn a card and accidentally picked up, like, let's say, one underneath it
like
and
700.
saw it before it went back down? Maybe made a play off of that. Little things like that. Still cheating, but honest people do things.
I mean, I don't want to talk about card games.
I cheat at all of them.
That's a good example, but even stuff like that.
Joe's like, yeah, I'm a cheater.
No. Like fuck it. Yu-Gi-Oh.
No card games.
Fuck it. Like, there are rules set up so that, like, if you as a person do something like that and your opponent catches you and you don't admit to it, you're done. Like, you lose.
Not only just your opponent. I mean, there's got to be somebody else who's got to see it.
If someone else sees it too, you're done. Like, it's and the same thing goes with, like, the judges, and that is a blatant rule. So, it's.
I mean, same thing. I mean, video games, it doesn't have to be card games. Video games, how many times have you found a glitch? How many times as let's say Blue Dragon, for instance, Xbox 360. There was this part where you had this auto battle. Oh, that wasn't an auto battle. You put this barrier on you, and whenever you walked into an enemy, it killed them instantly. And you'd get the experience for it. So I took my Xbox remote, wrapped a rubber band around it, and just let them walk around. So
Guitar Hero, you do that. Like rubber band the green button and just play with the rest. I think the biggest reason, obviously cheating aside, that he got banned was because he was a prick. And I'm not saying he's a prick now. Maybe he's a reformed prick. I think that compounded it and made it. He's an extra prick. Yeah. I think that made it easier for them to make the decision, make the call, and kind of hold his head up to everyone else. I don't know. Is that outside? I don't know what precedent this will set. I guess obviously it has to play itself out with him, now coming back and being welcomed back into the fold officially. I am gonna pop. By the way, I'm sitting here. I'm in chat too, and I'm reading the chat, and there's so many excellent points being made in the chat.
By Captain Motherfucking
I can't dump like all of them. I keep turning and I see. I'm like, well, no,
it's hard not to mention it. I'm gonna give you a brief synopsis. They're talking about professional sports, and you're watching a football game, and somebody makes an illegal hit, and it's a 15-yard fine, and maybe that player gets fined. You lost a little bit of yardage for your team, or there's a flag on the play. It's part of the game. It just happens. So if you're caught doing something illegal in game, there's a flag and you're penalized.
Okay, league, like you do something wrong, you just cut off one of your fingers, and then you have a little bit of a disadvantage.
That's what they do. They penalize you first.
Just like tie one of your fingers down.
League has this huge.
They catch you cheating, just like penalize you, just like kill you,
punch you in the face.
Game, they just kill you in game, and then that's it.
Knee you in the chin.
Like, you cheated, kill you in game, and then you just lost your chance at money because you cheated. I guess that's a little bit better than promoting the whole.
Break one of your keys on the keyboard.
you kill in the game, especially League of Legends.
Cut your mouse.
It's a team-based game.
Sure.
So
you just let your team down.
Yeah, you're punishing not only that person but the team as well. So, I mean, I guess they're benefiting if you cheat and get away with it, but
it's just like in the NFL when somebody catches a touchdown and then decides to poop out the football and do a dance on it, and then their team gets find yardage, and that sucks because now the kickoff's from like the fucking 50, and there's no chance of any type of return or anything like that. It's entirely different in that cheating is just so much part of that game. I see people hold every single game, and one of my friends, I don't know if he's watching at the moment, my friend Jeff, he played football in high school, and they were going over the tape, and he's...
Call him out?
Yeah, I'm calling him out right now. He was holding on film, but he was trying to make it look like he wasn't holding, and he got called for it, and his coach told him, "Damn it, Jeff, if you're going to hold," because he was trying to make it look like he wasn't holding, and because of that, the guy beat him around the corner and sacked the quarterback. He's like, if you're going to hold the damn guy, hold him. Don't let the quarterback get sacked. I think there's some out of the box thinking that can be done in any game involving like exploits. I think things like network exploits and attacks and things like that, I think that's completely different. I think that's
meant to be cheating. Like
that's PED usage basically, and there's no room for that. But the biggest thing is he was a fucking dick.
Kristen brings up a pretty valid point, and it's a question that I'm not 100% sure if that's actually something that they did. So did they have other like penalties set in place for people who did anything? Like, obviously he's not the first person to cheat in the game.
There's no chart.
So there's nothing. They didn't have any guidelines or anything set up.
They have guidelines for a player, maybe not a professional player, but players in general.
Do you know what those were?
Some of them, depending on the severity.
They're probably in the terms of service.
Oh. Yeah, they're in the terms of service, and depending on severity, I mean, some of them are very clear cut, and some of them are riot will decide your fate. Like, that's pretty much what it says, you know. To where, you know, say you one time do a DDoS attack, whatever the fuck it was called, but maybe riot looks at you and you're like, hey bro, attack. Here's a 24-hour ban. Don't do this shit again. But say they catch you the 20th time and they're like, oh, okay, bro, this dude's done. Here's your fake perma ban. Like, that's how it is, and it's every game that we play online. I'm sure Smite has it, whatever.
Right, I'm sure anyone that's trying to present their game as like a competitive forum.
I guess the point that I was trying to get at is, if they had something preset, and then now this guy did something that, while it may seem, or not even seem, while it was more heinous than normal, if they had something preset that fell into, did they increase it because of how heinous the crime was, instead of just, you already had this, and now...
At that point, I'm almost positive that is a riot will decide what happens kind of thing.
I think the reason they touted it as a lifetime permanent ban is because they wanted the good press of everyone seeing that they kicked the bully out of their game.
And that's, I've noticed they do that a lot. They make a huge deal.
It is a huge deal
about bullying. That's every time you see somebody banned, they have some quote in there about, we don't appreciate bullying in League of Legends.
I think the problem is
you play the fucking game. That's all it is.
It's like, the problem with them not enforcing these things is that they're really just working on their next big game. And that's the problem here. They just can't worry about all these cheaters and stuff when they got League of Legends 2 coming out.
Oh my god.
I hope I'm not on Earth when that game. Oh my god. I just can't imagine.
I mean, they've got a lot of good games, so these are hardworking people, okay?
I don't know. I just don't want this to turn into like, this guy got punished for everyone else's crimes.
He's not Jesus. Well. Happy Easter, everybody.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he really did. I think he got punished because of the shit he did.
Yeah.
I think he got punished harder because he is somebody they see.
I think what they should call what they did to him not a permanent ban. I think they should at least change the term.
That's indefinite.
I like it. I like it. What they did. I don't like the name, like you said, but it a year in competitive play at his level is like a lot. Holy shit, that's like 10 years.
He lost about 16 months.
Like, his job takes a lot
in 2013.
And this is a little niche that is not going to last very long. You know, he's not going to be 80 years old playing League of Legends. So he's going to ride this out for a little bit longer. A year could be a lot of his career in League of Legends. So
people said that about World of Warcraft. They're like, this game won't be
I'm not going to be playing this in 20.
I mean, the competitive scene for that is dead, though. We got to admit. Like, the competitive scene lasted, but it is already dead. It didn't last very long.
You don't hear that much about World of Warcraft like you used to, but just
So
as
they got
many
League of
play. I mean,
Legends.
still tons and tons of
Well,
people
there's still people
play.
playing it. They're just playing it for different reasons.
Right,
Different
for
people
fun.
Playing it for different reasons. What a novel idea to play a video game for fun these days.
Fuck that.
Yeah, who does that? What is that?
I don't even enjoy fun video games anymore. I want them to be competitive.
Okay, I was like, what?
You know,
How much
what
money
I'm
do
saying?
I
Like,
make off of it?
I'll pick
How
up
much
some
money do I
else.
got? How much do I need to start?
I can't
Sign
shit
me up.
talking.
I just put money on this.
Yeah, Derek, you love to shit talk people. You'd be the H1Z1, and this guy's just like, fuck you.
Were you playing with me that time when we were playing H1Z1?
Yeah, we were all trying to find each
Oh, that
other.
was
And this
you.
guy's like,
No,
hey man,
the guy
back
that
up.
the guy that we found, and then like he got killed, and we just like took off.
See, when you have the opportunity to screw people over in any game, you do it. This guy had
Oh.
the gnarliest shit ever, man, and he was helping us out, giving us stuff. The moment he died, we took all that guy's stuff, and we never talked to him again.
But we didn't kill him. Like
He just died
He's
to
not even
zombie.
cold yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just like, we're not talking to this fool
See.
anymore. We got all his shit.
Oh man.
I'm even like in video games. Like, I'm God. I get to do whatever I want to do. So like, I used to play what was that other zombie game we used to play? DayZ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to find people. I would knock them out, handcuff them with their hands behind their back, and break their legs. And steal all their
reaction
stuff.
was just like, all right.
They would wake up and like, they would, they couldn't move. They could wiggle a little bit, and then I would lead a bunch of zombies over to them, and the zombies would slowly
What
kill
I was
them.
about to say about like DayZ and H1Z1 is like these games are such a lesson in character and
Oh, yeah.
discovering who you are.
Oh.
And then I hear this.
Be my friend.
And, no.
The thing is,
We're bad people, bro.
I
games
Don't
my
mess
friends
with us
go.
in vid games.
those games are like
God in
the
these
real
video
life
games.
Walking Dead in a video game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It's the human
I'm
interactions.
Daryl.
that
I'm
make
Daryl
this-
and he's
it's
Rick.
literally, and that's what makes the game. The zombies are there, but that's not what the game is. The game
What-
is you
yeah.
trying to survive with these other assholes, and in turn, you
That's-
have to be an asshole.
We started
So-
these games, and we walk up to people and we're like, "Hey, bro, you want to do something together?" And they're like, "Bam!" Shoot you in the face. And I'm like, "Okay."
Get in my helicopter. And they
I was
drop
in
you
a-
off
I
the
was in
island,
a-
you can't
Hey,
get
Oh
out.
my
Derek,
god. I was stuck in the bathroom.
Toasty was like, she broke your legs.
Hey, Jay-Z. Yo, I was stuck in the bathroom one time in H1Z1. These guys were like, hey bro, come out, man. We put the traps here, man. You're safe. Come out right now. I come outside. Oh, kill him, bro. Kill him. Quick, quick, quick. I'm like, I don't even have anything, bro. Kill him, yeah, man. We
No.
got him, man. Kill him.
But, yeah, Jaldine broke my
Oh god.
zombie. Ran up to me once.
It's all good, bro.
There's actually there's a video. I wish I could find that video. I'm gonna see if I can hunt it down. But there's a video out. These guys are playing
Got a follower.
DayZ, and they found these like 4 dudes. They took all their stuff, handcuffed
Where's
them,
fourth force?
and like they brought them. They put them in a They took them in their helicopter, and oh yeah, people want to see me. But they put them in a helicopter and they drove them out to the middle of nowhere, or flew them out in the middle of nowhere, and then they had them all like set on the ground. But long story short, they basically killed one of the dudes because he was trying to be tough. They straight up just blew him up with a grenade. The other 3 people they made fight to the death, and then they decided that they didn't want to kill each other, so they're like, all right, they gave them a bag, and they're like, whoever wins gets this bag. It had a bunch of really amazing shit in it, and then they gave everybody a gun with 1 bullet. And like they just went at it. And it was like,
Hey man, this
the
is
most
a grenade. It's not
crazy
live.
psycho
Here you go.
shit. Like,
Just kidding. It's live.
Oh, what the hell?
it's just crazy. It's just crazy.
It's amazing. Is
I
what you
saw
meant
the
to
one,
say.
the video where the guys would get you in the helicopter. We're gonna take you back to our base, and they go to some island you can't get off, and they just drop you there, and they just leave. They don't kill you. They just leave you there.
People are always
So
talking
you're
about
stuck
the
there
4th
until you die
person.
of starvation.
Like there's people in the chat. There's like, there's a voice going across the world.
Who is the 4th?
It is me, bro. No,
See, and what's worst part about DayZ is you drop from like a foot and you break your legs.
Yeah.
But I'm not even joking. Like you,
It
you
is God.
go walk down
Hello.
some stairs,
trip
and
over a rock
you
and you
break
just
your
break your
leg.
whole body.
Random
But-
tech voice.
Not me.
DayZ is catered to fucking people over. You can like handcuff them and then
Their arms just
then
fall
make
off.
them sick, force feed them fucking rotten
my
food
God.
until they get sick.
Why don't they
That
just
game.
log out?
I don't know. You gotta stay.
The thing is, if you log out, like you just try to like close the game down, your person stays there for a while.
Your life was out.
Yeah, and they can just do whatever the hell they want.
But even so, these characters most of the time, you've spent days on that character. So like, it's an extension of your like own life. So you're like sitting there, and you're
Yep.
like, I gotta find a way out of this. I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna cut their throats. Like, so
Well, hopefully for you, you can pull that one off.
I started.
We should really get back into the game. I miss that game a lot. I want to play it again.
I went through the trouble of getting that
I,
all set up. I sent you the play test.
Yeah.
And then we never played.
Yeah, we never got a chance to do the Let's Play that we wanted to do.
That was
But
so good.
H1Z1 or Daisy?
That is true.
My
Daisy.
house
Is
is
better?
swimming.
Joe,
What?
did you think H1Z1 or Daisy was better? I honestly think Daisy.
I mean, I would like breaking my legs, just falling, like taking the stairs and then just my legs just breaking.
I don't know.
That'd be
It might
awesome.
be fixed now. H1Z1, I felt like there is a boatload of dicks in that game.
Okay, is that the one
Oh,
where you
that's
can
my
walk
kinda
across the
game.
lakes?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Like,
the thing is,
It's not done yet.
No, it's not. Neither one of them are.
Right.
But like, I don't know which one I would say is better or I enjoyed more. The thing is, if Daisy fixed a lot of its bugs, that game would be phenomenal and it would be really, really fun to play.
Well, we haven't played in a long time. They've
That's
done
true.
a ton of
They've
updates.
done a lot of updates.
But DayZ is much larger, and people interaction is a little more scarce. So it's really intimidating compared to fucking H1Z1. You see somebody like every 3 minutes,
You go to
and they're killing you.
Thanks, Moodley. Appreciate the follow
And water.
Actually, the donate. Wow. Yeah,
Water.
we definitely appreciate it.
Thanks.
Well, but yeah, the I don't know. Like, I wish that H1Z1 had
Boatloads of dicks,
the
yes.
Penises.
what? Okay.
Sorry.
Lewis loves boatloads of penises. Dicks. Wait. That's my kind of game. Yeah.
No, I wish H1Z1 had better graphics and a little bit more polish, and maybe it will when it like actually rolls out.
I was gonna say, yeah.
That doesn't really bother me, but I just hate the amount of dicks in that game. Dicks everywhere.
I don't know.
Dick pic? Okay.
If
I don't
You
need
guys
a
asked
dick
for
pic,
it.
no.
I think with that game it would probably be a little bit better if it was an easier way to get your stuff back. Because
Yeah.
if you die so often, like in that game, so like
And water. I was always thirsty. I was always so thirsty in
gotta
that
boil
game.
that water, man.
Somebody found my cave. But no, that game, like, zombies were absolutely zero threat in that game.
I didn't like how there were zombies in that game.
In H1Z1,
Yeah.
you
It
didn't like how
wasn't a
they-
zombie game.
No.
It wasn't.
I was just thought it was just going to be a free roaming life simulator with no zombies and just people.
Realm of Kings.
I thought it was just going to be Sims, honestly.
Well, I mean,
with
the
a different game.
zombies are there, but they don't do anything.
You know, the thing is that's funny.
They're
though,
normal
is that the
people.
animals were way more of a threat.
The
in that
wolves,
game.
dude.
The bears.
Oh,
Did you ever run
fuck
across
the
the bears?
No, I ran
Dude, those
away
things
from
will
them.
destroy you.
You get hit twice and you're done. Like
And they don't stop chasing you.
No.
They just go
No,
forever.
no, those animals follow you for years.
the animals were
Dude.
definitely worse.
Yeah, I'd rather fight zombies.
I don't know.
Can't jump in the water to get away from them.
You know what I'm excited about? And this is completely off topic, but I'm really excited about it. That GTA.
Oh, we are
Oh,
going.
you see the
It should have been out already.
stream?
Yeah,
It should have been out already. We should have been doing heist and shit already and robbing banks.
I'm getting the thumbs up
But-
from Neil over there. Like,
But it's not out yet. But when it comes out,
Watch the 60 FPS full HD.
oh my god, that game.
Joe came.
Dump
That's great.
Simulator,
I need
We're
it.
talking about games we're excited for.
Yeah,
Killing Floor 2.
Bathroom Simulator 5.
dude, I played the first one.
This second one is supposed to like set a bar for graphics.
What?
We'll see. That's like a big thing to say now. Like,
I
Alright,
have
what
the
game?
money.
What game?
well, Killing Floor 2. Let me say that PC Gamer spent a lot of money to be able to play it in 60 FPS.
really?
Yes.
I'll put.
It
the
was
dollars
pretty
down.
rough.
put
That's
the
the
dollars
only
down.
time I've seen anybody do it in
I'll do
60. You say you'll do it?
I'll do it.
You gonna buy 2 Titans?
No,
They'll clash.
get out. I don't know. I because like Final Fantasy used to be that thing. Like that used to be like
They used to push the hardware.
and now like even that game is just like meh.
Well, let me
So
say,
everything is pushing the hardware.
watch a video of Killing Floor 2. It looks pretty good. It doesn't look anything new to me. I mean, it's pretty much Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
It's a more thought out Call of Duty Zombies. Hey, bro, phone's off in the theater.
Amateur hour over here. I don't know.
You know,
Oh Lord. What are you playing this week, Derek? You streaming at all?
I'm sure I will.
Streaming?
I haven't decided what I was gonna play. I'm sure I might do some League this week.
I know. Lewis and I are going to be playing some Hearthstone.
That's tomorrow, right?
Yes,
Hey.
tomorrow.
I'm gonna come in.
I know. We got a couple of people that just got in. So, and I know usually we kind of cut it off at 11. If you guys are cool with it and you want to watch us eat some food, we can just kind of.
We're-
I mean,
yeah.
we keep talking. After
Yeah, we
the
can
thing
because
shut.
we always still the show continues after we stop streaming anyway. So
I always take a dump at 11:05
it does.
though.
But anyway, I forgot what I was about to say, but I saw that.
About streaming.
Oh yeah, we kind of did our little indie week thing, and that happened, and it was fun. But there was another game that has been bothering me, and I wanted to play it. It's this War of Mine. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, you didn't get a chance to play
I never
it?
got a chance to play that during the week.
Mhm.
Why are you pointing at me?
Because you do get a chance to play it just at PAX.
Yeah, I got a chance to play it at PAX, but I didn't actually get a chance to like play it during the stream. But I really miss it. Or didn't get a chance to play it, so I haven't missed it yet. But I don't know. I want to play that game. It looks
We got
really
those
interesting.
50% off codes. We got like 50 of them.
Yeah, we have a crap ton of those. So we can give those.
Yeah,
Can
we
I have
could
one?
Give some of those up.
Sure.
Alright.
We have so many of them. Like
50% off what?
the game.
Somebody happened to-
A
You
game?
don't even know? Like,
somebody happened to
He heard
drop
50 and was just like, "Yeah, I want that."
What game is it?
It's called This War of Mine.
Oh, no, I'm good.
It's like
you don't even know what it's about.
I don't.
It's like a zombie. No, it's not a zombie. It's just like a post-apocalyptic survival kind
It's
of.
always the zombies.
No, I mean, it looks
There's
alright.
that.
Hey, Captain Picard said I had the best quote of the night. Thank you.
That's
That
cute.
I never even heard that.
I said I always take a dump at 11:05.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yep.
But that league guy is still up there on the.
Yeah,
He's,
no,
like, still
I,
crying.
Dude, that'd be
I know.
sick.
I've been
T-shirts.
like trying to sneakily
11:05
like
dump
change it,
confirmed.
but like I've never had time, so I'm just gonna change it, and you guys can deal with it. There we go. All right,
But
but
I might do some Let's Starve this week.
let's starve.
Yeah.
You know, I bought that game so I could play it with you, and I hate that game. I really don't like that game. I'm sorry.
You don't like it?
Racist.
Huh?
Why they put it on the Wii U?
Don't starve?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I haven't heard
We'll
that they
start
are.
together. That
Wasn't
game?
that part of the thing, Mark? They were putting a Don't Starve on the Wii U, and they were going to make it so if you buy one, you get one free to give to a friend.
Yes.
That's badass.
That was in the Nintendo Direct.
I'd probably play.
That I promised we weren't going to talk about.
That's fine.
But there was some good news.
Why didn't you tell me stuff I care about?
Actually, the indie stuff was all really cool. That and like the what the fuck do they call their emulation? I forgot. Wow, this is bad.
I'm sorry, Toasty.
When
What's
you
it-
buy their old shit on their
The
virtual console.
Virtual console?
They brought DS and N64 games on there too.
on the
Really?
virtual console.
Right.
DS and
So the DS games on the gamepad, you can hold it sideways and it will do top and bottom screen, or you can do top screen on the TV, bottom screen on the thing, or you can do top screen with the bottom screen shadowed.
So
TV. The top
You
screen
can
up
play a
there,
DS
that is
game
badass.
with the bottom screen as the gamepad and the top screen as the TV.
See, if they keep up this shit, I won't hate Nintendo.
So I've been working on this little like funny clips of like our GCUB Live, including like the GPUs and all that fun stuff.
Oh no!
You just made one that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go where it says I don't want to talk about Nintendo, and then I'm gonna immediately cut to is like so the indie games on the pad, and then just like go into that spiel. So that's gonna make it. Sometime I'll put it on YouTube at one point.
I like YouTube.
Best of Mark.
Needs a meme.
The best. I don't need the best of Mark.
I'm trying to come up with like some good designs for T-shirts for the shop, like on the
For me,
site.
make one for Mark that has Mark saying, "I'm not going to talk
Dump
about
at
Nintendo," and then-
11:05.
Dump, oh yeah, that's
Those things will sell.
No, it's gonna be like tour dates on the back of the shirt of all the times I did talk about Nintendo.
Oh,
that
God.
I wasn't going to. Whatever. I
Muff
tried.
Claudia 1988.
or like just put that like now we're not going to talk about Nintendo tonight, or we're going to not like say something like that, and then just keep putting that, and then something Nintendo, and then like say it, and then something Nintendo immediately right after.
It was embarrassing for my life.
That's great. That's great.
I like
good
it.
Content. Good content.
But Nintendo said so much good stuff. We should talk about
They did. You know what? I wasn't gonna talk about Nintendo, but since
We have people eating food in our face.
we're hungry.
We're dying. So here's what's going to
it.
happen.
Fast food.
Why don't you guys continue talking? I can
Here's
jump
what
up.
I'm going to do. I'm going. Well, yeah. Let's keep shooting the shit, and we'll get some food.